Hello guys, in this new session of Master EDA Utilities, as the name itself suggests, we will learn lots of utilities which are provided by the chip designing tools, mainly focusing on the layout and the physical verification related aspects of it. See, while we are doing the layouts or physical verification, right, there are lots of things which the EDA vendor gives us to facilitate our share of work, okay, to make things easier. There are lots of utilities as and when the tools have advanced, the EDA vendors have been providing us with lots of utilities. And many of them, some of them might have been familiar with this, but then there are lots of multiple ways of doing things which will help you ease your layout and physical verification share of work. And that's what we will be trying to learn in this particular session. So before we get into the details of the utilities, we need to understand what exactly is this EDA database. So EDA stands for Electronic Design Automation. So companies, electronic design automation companies, so obviously they operate using their own databases, using their own proprietary languages, right? So be it Cadence, Synopsys, or Mentor Graphics, or Siemens, or Magma for that matter, right? So they have their own, these are all the main EDA players, what we have in the semiconductor space. So all of them use their own database, which is later used to, fabricate, or which is sent to the foundry. So like you might have come across the term called GDS, or maybe you might have come across the term called OASIS, Milky Way, Open Access, Left, Def, all of these. So let's try and understand what exactly are these. Okay, who owns them? Okay, what is being sent to the foundry? Always we talk about GDS tape out, GDS tape out, but what exactly is happening here? Okay, and you might have come across these terms called stream in and stream out. So what exactly does it mean when we say stream in and stream out? What is happening? Is it just the same GDS which is hopping from tool to tool, or is there any intermediate change of database, change of language happening there when you're trying to dump a GDS or load the file into the tool? Okay, let's understand what exactly is happening over there. And then the most important thing is the layer map file. So we'll try and understand what exactly is this layer map file. You might have heard this, but what is its main purpose? Okay, and then we'll see a demo on how to stream out, stream in, what are the challenges you would face, how to dump the file, how to ensure that it is dumped correctly or not. And then as and when we move, we have some examples relating to DRC and LBS aspects of it. See, whenever you're dealing with a larger designs with too many DRC rules, right? It's better we bifurcate it into base level rules, metal rules, density rules, antenna rules, and all of that, right? So that's how we need to learn. Generally, what happens, the CAD team or the enablement team takes care of this. Okay, they set it up. But if you know how to run DRC checks selectively, where is that in the tool you need to go and do the setup? And how is it going to help you in doing this? So all of these sessions here, all of these topics, first we have spoken about the importance of this, make you understand what is the importance of this feature, where you can use them, how you can use them, and then we have shown a demo as well, how to do it using the tool. Okay, so this is what it is. And then area DRC. Say we know that whenever you're dealing with larger designs, every time you give a run, hierarchical or flat run, it takes a lot of run time. Okay, it eats up a lot of your time. So how do you select a particular portion of your design and run DRC on that itself? Okay, you don't want to waste time. Your machine is hanging. What are the alternatives of working around things? Maybe we'll talk about that. And also, even before running your density, right? Even before you're doing the fill, there are utilities in the tool which will guide you to calculate the density of a particular metal or particular base level layer in your design. We learn how to do that. And also, you might have come across this term called LBS box. Okay, so whenever you are having a bigger design and there are multiple people working on this, right? And the top level guy needs to complete his share of module, or you've been assigned a task to complete the top level integration work, right? So there could be ECO change, there could be some new work, there could be some delay in the design, but still without being dependent on each of the individual layout guys or circuit designers, how is that you can run a physical verification check? What setting you can do, how you can verify, and how is that it's going to help you? We learn that those things. And most importantly, when you are working with larger designs like this, there is a high probability of running into shorts, be it at a top level or be it hierarchical shorts. So, generally the tool tends to describe a short or open in a specific way, right? But what if you get to know there are some settings in the tool? If you do it, you will be able to generate a separate short isolation database, which would make things easier for you, which will directly point at the shorted path in your design, right? So all these things we will be trying to learn what is the importance of this and the setup and the virtual connections. You might have come across virtual connections, but you also need to know how to use it, when to use it, where to use it, and how to ensure you convey the message to the next level guy that in this particular module I have used virtual connection, right? Else the top level guy wouldn't know. So your power connections or your important connections would be missed out, and when you do parasitic extraction, the results will be incorrect. Okay, and then obviously you, while running your LBS, you would be able to generate your schematic netlist and layout netlist and all of that. But then there are multiple ways of generating netlist. There are different kinds of netlist what you can generate. We will see those things, and finally ending up this whole session, because whenever you are getting into meetings or if you have to share a particular design with your colleague or your lead or your customer or whatever, you might have to take some screenshot or images of your design. So how to do that using the tool? Okay, all of this will be a part of this session. Okay, so you can log into academy.semionics.com and take the whole advantage of this course on mastering EDA utilities.